start.
All right, get ready for the start. We're ready for the start. And you could say that the first three drivers, there is youthful exuberance in abundance. Here we go. It's Pato Award for Arrow McLaren SP, the orange and black car, and the green and white is Colton Herta. And then the pink and black car for Dale Coyne Racing. Alex Palou got his first IndyCar podium yesterday. It was a wild start here less than 24 hours ago. What do we have today? Race 2 in the doubleheader, Road America, the Rev Grand Prix here at Road America. And Pato Award gets the launch.
Super late start. Everybody packed up. Contact in the back. It looks like with Pagano and the 20 of Colton Herta, his wing has just flown off. But
oh, Hunter Ray!
Big crash, turn 1 cars. Harvey's off. It looks like Rossi might have been involved as well, but this is a big crash to start. It was a really late start. That's
Jack Harvey and Connor Daly.
Connor Daly had the incident right away. Caution is out.
Oh no, Graham Rahal.
Wild stuff on the first lap. We thought it was going to be
hit hard.
We thought it was going to be the rookies that were making the mistakes, but we got vets out here making mistakes.
Rahal and Hunter Ray, both with great starting positions, both with strong races yesterday as the AMR safety team checks on Ryan Hunter Ray.
That was savage.
Keep in mind, it's 180 plus miles an hour at the end of the front straight and about 190 on the back straight where Graham Rahal went off.
Yeah, it was super late restart, and it was smart of Pato Award to really wait on that, but it packed the whole field up as we see Connor Daly's front wing under his front wheel. Tough to get around the track like that and make all the corners, so that's going to do a lot of damage to the underwing and the bottom of the car.
And this Ed Carpenter Racing crew worked until 11 o'clock last night fixing this 20 US Air Force car because Connor suffered a huge crash yesterday. Ryan Hunter Ray is extracting himself from the cockpit of the DHL Honda, and Graham Rahal already out.
And he's had a good championship so far this season, so this is going to be another blow for him, for anybody trying to chase down Scott Dixon.
Talking about two guys in the top 6 of the championship. Let's look for Connor Daly. Where is that US Air Force car?
It's aim high right here.
Yep, right there.
Yeah, it was just a real late, slow start. And guys, everybody was wanting to go at the back here, and the front wasn't going, Townsend, and they were just amped up and ready.
As you press the hill here at Road America, it's very difficult to see any further than about a couple of rows. I'm guessing that some guys on the radio might have been telling their drivers from pit lane, hey, green, 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 and then people checked up perhaps.
This is the view from Felix Rosenquist. Look up ahead at the yellow and red car.
Dixon and Hunter Ray there. Dixon gets hit by Will Power, gets punted. Will just sent him. Hunter Ray will not be happy about that.
With Rossi looking over at Jack Harvey.
Something's going to happen here to Harvey on that inside. Rosenquist, there goes. Oh, and Harvey spins on the inside.
Locked it up, just lost the rear, trying to lock it down, but here we have the front end view. Hunter Ray just gets hit from behind on the brakes from Will Power. That could draw a penalty, guys, for an avoidable contact.
I'm wondering if there was contact too between Ferrucci and Jack Harvey. And this is the Graham Rahal exiting turn 3.
He high centered on the exit curve.
Ooh.
Oh boy.
Vicious
hit to hit the end of that concrete block, Paul.
Moved the block over about 2 or 3 feet here. So he turns in. Will Power again makes contact with another driver.
Oh, yellow, full course yellow.
Didn't Will Power say at the start he was going to take it easy? He said he was going to just take it easy and watch, but that was a massive hit.
Yeah, he bumped Graham Rahal, which then got him out and high centered him on that exit curb, which generates a lot of rear wheel spin. And so, man, that was a blunt force impact.
And we know that Will Power got a penalty to the back, so too did Connor Daly for avoidable contact. So both those guys are ready to go, and so are we at the front of the field with 3 youngsters, Pato Award, Colton Herta, and Alex Palou. Are you ready to see some racing? We are. because it was a crazy opening lap. Let's see if we can get into a rhythm. And the Arrow McLaren SP Chevrolet has gone. Great start, Pato Award.
That was a really nice restart, Townsend. He got a nice launch off the corner. He got a nice little gap on the straightaway, which is exactly what you need. As Dixon now is looking at the back of Palou. Palou was a very quick restarter as well.
How about Simon Pagenaud there in the Menards car making a move? I think that was Takuma Sato.
The bright yellow car, there it is there, Simon Pagenaud, the reigning Indy 500 champ. Max Chilton makes his way past Oliver Askew in that blue car. How about Power and Daly? They're trying to make their way through as quickly as they can, but it'll be tough. Long stretch of the legs down the hill here to turn 5. And Dixon, the orange and blue car, the PNC Bank Honda in 4th, is already looking to make a move to get into the top 3.
Pato Award looks very composed at the front. It's like he's been leading these IndyCar races for a long time. Super smooth, no wheel spin, no oversteer. We ride on board with Award looking out the back at Colton Herta now.
He's got a lot of experience fighting with Colton Herta from their Indy Lights days. These guys went back and forth in Pato's championship season, so he's very comfortable racing with Colton Herta.
And he's very comfortable at the front too, because in that year when he won the Indy Lights Championship on the Road to Indy, part of the Road to Indy series that really embraces youth on their way and their ambitious way to one day getting to IndyCar. I think Pato won 7 or 8 or 9 races. It was a very dominant performance. Now, while we're up to speed and we're getting into a rhythm, Graham Rahal has been released from medical. Let's hear from him.
Standing by here, that was a wicked-looking hit. Are you all right?
Yeah, no, I'm good. I'm sorry for the, Fifth Third Bank and for all of our partners who, we're hoping for a good day just like us. It's disappointing to, to see kind of desperation moves like that early in the race. But, that is what it is. And, we're okay from the hit. I think everything did its job, so go from there.
He's off the track there. In small consolation, he did get an avoidable contact penalty.
Yeah, he's getting what he deserves today, I think. He took Ryan out, I think, and me, and, it's just it's frustrating because, again, it's like what I just said, it's a desperation move, and I've made them before, so I know him well. But, I was just disappointed because I thought that we had a really good chance today. And, some guys very aggressive on the start. We wanted to be one of them. Just didn't quite work out. But it's all good. We'll be back. Yeah, we just got bumped there, straight on the outside, and then, I lost it. I didn't know. Obviously, it went yellow literally as I hit, which is salt in the wound, but we're going to have to just reboot. We got Iowa next week. Got a couple chances to win there.
That's right. Another doubleheader next week in a hot Iowa and a chance to take home 2 trophies. Out today is Graham Rahal.
All right. It's difficult to keep up with everything that's going on here. Power has obviously stalled the car. He's calling for assistance. We're under yellow. And while all this was going on, the 18 of Santino Ferrucci was given a penalty as well for avoidable contact for hitting Jack Harvey on that opening lap.
It's got a lot of damage there, Townsend. There's a lot of fluid on the windscreen. Here's Santino Ferrucci, who's got some kind of issue as well, but right now there could be terminal damage with Power. It looks like there's fluids on the side pod of the car and on the windscreen.
Damage there to the left front wing. Let's see what happened to Will Power. Turn 13, off on his own.
Whoa!
Bunny hopping his way. Now he's going to take out a rev sign.
He looked like PT in the early 90s there.
This is a sloppy. We haven't even done one full green lap.
They're similar to Rossi yesterday, but a lot more damage to the car. Ooh, very lucky escape for Askew there, but somehow to see all the damage on the front wing, and then there's a lot of fluid in there around the entry to the side pod.
Ready to go again. You've got a 21-year-old leading a 20-year-old. It's a very youthful feel at the front of this field, and then the 5-time champion is tucked back there in 4th. Watch for him to make a move. Another good restart from Pato Award. Let's go again, and here comes Alex Palou.
Palou got a great restart. He's right there in the draft. Herta blocks the inside. Will he go for the outside? He does, Townsend. And he's got the momentum. He's got the draft from the car in front. They'll go side by side, and he clears them.
Beautiful pass from Alex Palou. Well done.
He did that to Ryan Hunter-Reay yesterday. And that's what set him on his path to his first career podium in just his 3rd race.
He was absolutely beaming with confidence after the race. He was so stoked to have his first podium, and he could have a shot at a win today.
Not only that, Alex Palou driving for one of the smaller teams in the field, Dale Coyne Racing, but their car setup has been spectacular as Joseph Newgarden in that light blue #1 car puts a move on Zach Veach.
And Newgarden moving through the field now. He's inside the top 10, had a bad qualifying this morning, so uncharacteristic of him. And look at Pagenaud, just a couple cars. He started in 22nd hinch, and now he's already up to 13th.
We've seen some incredible restarts from Palou, and I'm wondering, both times against Andretti Autosport cars, we saw Colton Herta not able to keep up with Pato O'Ward and also get swallowed there by Palou, as the gearing in the Andretti Autosport cars not ideal for the restarts on this long front straight.
I think Ryan Hunter-Reay might have also given us an indication. Hunter-Reay talked about running more downforce today to try to help the long run, so that would disadvantage. If Colton Herta also went with higher downforce, it would disadvantage Colton earlier on when the tires are fresh, but perhaps Colton will come on strong at the end of the tire stint.
Considerably cooler today than yesterday. Yesterday, track temperature was about 85, 87 degrees. Track temp was about 120. Today, it's 105 and 73. So downforce will be up today. Gearing will need to change. There's a little bit breezier today than yesterday as well.
19-year-old Rinus VeeKay in that blue and white. Direct supply Chevrolet for Ed Carpenter Racing. He had a terrific run yesterday. He's the biggest mover in this early stage of the race today. He's made up 9 positions from his starting spot. The same as Simon Pagenaud, by the way, who's made good ground. But the move that this guy put on Pagenaud yesterday, the Indy 500 winner, around the carousel, one of the most treacherous corners in motorsport, was just well beyond his years as a 19-year-old rookie. It was awesome.
We got, like I said at the beginning of the show, a youth movement at the front of the field here. All these young, fast Charger drivers, and then you got the wily championship veteran of Scott Dixon in the mix.
He overtake there. He was on the overtake.
Here's the carousel. Firestone telemetry gives you the numbers. Watch for the top speed. 174. 83. Oh, and here comes Charlie Kimball into Canada corner. Great move.
189 miles an hour out of Newgarden. As we get to lap 10 here, the fuel window opens to maybe think about pulling a Newgarden to pit lane and getting them out in clean air and get your 3 stops done that way rather than trying to stretch the first stop. I wonder if anybody's going to gamble here and try to do it on pace by getting clean air. Newgarden stays out.
And Lee, when I talked to Pato about yesterday's race, he came home 8th. He wasn't really pleased with that, and he felt one of the areas that they really needed to improve on was the pace that they could make with the primary tire. That's what's sitting in pit lane right now. The 30-pound front tire wheel assemblies come off. The 40-pound front tire wheel assemblies go on the back, and now he heads down pit road. Looked like a clean stop from where I stood, guys.
It's going to be tight. Palou is coming through the final corner. O'Ward should keep the lead.
We're going to push like hell. We should be clear in
I think he's well in the lead here. Palou isn't even in sight yet, so here comes Kellett.
Next
Got
car
a nice
should be
gap.
Palou. O'Ward lights it up out of pit lane.
to overtake.
I'll tell you one thing that it was great to see today. It was great to see Robert Wickens here this weekend with the team, also coaching these 2 young drivers.
Excellent stop for Pato O'Ward. But this young guy right here, heck of a day yesterday. Again, first podium finish, strong, composed, great racecraft.
He's on cold tires, so bring him in.
Rosenquist now has gone longer, and his teammate, both Ganassi cars, might cycle out in front of these guys like Herta because they went a little bit longer and they had clear road.
Both the Chip Ganassi racing cars running 1-2 come in for a regular service. Very clean stop from the 10 car. Had to bobble a little bit to get around his teammate. It's not always the best move to pit when the car in front of you is in pit lane for that very reason, but a good clean stop for both these cars.
He's going to cycle out in front of Herta, so that was a great overcut, an example of going a little bit longer on track. And look at his teammate now. Both teammates come out in front of Scott Dixon because they ran longer on track.
Did you see how precise Scott Dixon was with the placement of his car as Rossi comes forcing his way through Ericsson? I mean, those are all the little things that Scott Dixon does so well, staying calm, staying precise, and keeping high percentage moves in mind early on.
Rossi on red tires, Dixon on blacks. This is a confidence builder right now for Alexander Rossi. He's fighting now with the championship leader. This is what he needs to build his confidence, Hinch.
Yeah, guys, so what we're seeing here, we're talking about undercuts and overcuts. Let me explain that a little bit for you. As these tires start to wear, they start to degrade, the lap time slows down. So if you pit on the early side of the window, get a new set of tires on, have a really good outlap, and start using that new rubber to lay down fast laps while the other driver is still driving around on tires that are slowing down, that's called an undercut. But sometimes, if you have a problem in pit lane, if you have traffic and you come on your outlap and you can't get those fast laps in, staying out longer in clean air actually is the advantage. Yesterday, we saw a lot of guys use the undercut to good effect. Today, Felix Rosenqvist has done an awesome job going longer and using that overcut.
And I'm just blown away by the pace that Felix Rosenqvist was able to keep up, and the fact that that car, the left front wheel and the whole suspension assembly stayed intact after that massive hit and contact with Graham Rahal on the opening lap of the race.
Talk about opening laps as Max Chilton comes to pit lane. Will Power is the leader.
Red, going to sticker red.
Yeah, the better your car's handling, the easier it is to save fuel. And the way these drivers save fuel is at the end of these long straightaways here at Road America, if you're normally braking at the 300 board, you're going to lift off the throttle at the 600 board, maybe the 500 board, coast down to just past the 300 board, and that coasting period is exactly when you do it as Felix going for a pass on Alex Palou.
Rosenqvist on Palou, turn one. Palou wanted to come back on the inside, but wasn't able to do it. So that was for fourth spot. Great work from the NTT Honda driver Felix Rosenqvist.
Great job.
Pretty
Two cars ahead of you is the leader on our strategy.
For Rosenqvist, you can hear Award on the same strategy as Rosenqvist and also Alex Palou. So these are the guys that are going to kind of push, not save fuel, push as hard as they can, go chase down Pato Award and battle for the win. Remarkable when you consider how hard Rosenqvist was hit when Graham Rahal got pushed wide, got sideways, and then the two cars impacted very, very hard side to side, but Rosenqvist's car appears to be unscathed.
Yeah, that was a pass for fourth and fifth, but effectively on the road, these guys with the strategy are really second and third. So Power and Ferrucci are out of sequence. They're going to be pitting here pretty soon, and they just don't have the pace that these cars have on the newer tires.
And if you let your eyes walk down a little bit further, it's turning into a better and better day for Andretti Autosport's Alexander Rossi. We've documented well and in detail his struggles in the first three races of this season. There he is in the background there in the AutoNation Honda. This team and Alexander Rossi need a good result here today. He won the Road America race a year ago by almost 30 seconds in one of the most dominant performances you've ever seen. This year has been very, very different, but today could be a turning point.
Absolutely. I mean, it's great to get a win, pull one out of the hat. As Rosenqvist now is looking at Santino Ferrucci. He's right there. He will use the push to pass.
Pit lane.
Power locks it up, getting down to the 90-mile-an-hour speed zone. Rosenqvist in the draft. Not quite close enough. He'll have to make a really late braking maneuver, and he does.
There goes Rosenqvist, fairly straightforward, and you'll see Ferrucci pit soon. It would be amazing. There's a couple of potential first-time winners, either in Pato Award or Felix Rosenqvist, or is Marcus Ericsson in the window of opportunity.
Pit this lap,
Pit this lap, through the kink.
Look how hard he's pushing. He knows this is his chance with clean air to try to make up that gap to Award.
In and out laps. Fast in and out laps are often the key to victory when you're playing the strategic game head-to-head with another driver. This has been a great drive today from Felix Rosenqvist, the NTT Data team, and Chip Ganassi Racing. Let's ride with him on in.
big air, wide open, straight in, stop at the sign.
Felix Rosenqvist pits from the lead. The pit crew is the one in charge of getting the stop done quickly, but you said it, Lee, in-laps and out-laps are just as important in this pit sequence. That was a very, very fast in-lap. Oh no, they dropped the car before the left front was on. They've had to raise the car back up. Oh, terrible disaster for the 10 car. He's off and away as Ericsson, his teammate, comes in his box now.
Outside front tire changer had an issue getting the nut off. Then the tire was late coming off, and they dropped the car without the nut, and now you see the gap. He clawed it back to 3 seconds, and now it's going to be about 8 or 9 after this pit stop exchange again.
It just feels like so far this season we've seen so many issues like this on pit lane. There you saw the issue on the left front, and then they drop the car before the wheel nut is tight on the left front, have to rejack the car in the air. That's 2 to 3 seconds. So costly in this over-under moment.
Connor Daly in the 20 car is not on the lead lap. He's not trying to pass Pato O'Ward for position per se. It'll just get him back on the lead lap, that's all. However, it's a distraction, and O'Ward now lets him by, and now it's a clean fight between first and second. Rosenqvist has a clear view of that Arrow McLaren Chevrolet.
The gap is going to close quick now. Now he's got turbulent air in front of him. He's got to get by Dalton Kellett, but Dalton Kellett's on, I think, is on fresh tires right now. His pace is pretty good. Last lap for O'Ward, 150. Last lap for Rosenqvist, 149.2, a full second a lap quicker.
The gap is 1.4 seconds.
That cost O'Ward, letting Connor Daly by with the lap traffic of Dalton Kellett. The race is on, 4 laps to go.
Kellett moves over.
Smart move.
Where's Rosenqvist going to catch him? He's not. Well done, Dalton Kellett.
Now let me just throw this out here, because Connor Daly is not driving away from Pato O'Ward. Is he now just upsetting the air as he goes off?
Who said Connor Daly wants to drive away at this point?
1 second is all that separates Pato O'Ward and Felix Rosenqvist. A Chevrolet versus a Honda. Arrow McLaren SP versus Chip Ganassi
O'Ward
Racing.
got way wide.
Super wide, pushed way wide through the carousel.
A lot of marbles out there too. He might be slow through the kink, and don't forget, O'Ward started this stint on used tires.
When they come around, there will be 3 laps to go. They've almost completed this lap, and that image of Felix Rosenqvist is getting larger and larger.
Short shifting out of the corner there a little bit, not trying to spin the tires up. Right now he's got the advantage of its turbulent air for Rosenqvist, so he's got to get closer to that gap, and he doesn't have the new tires like Connor Daly
3 laps to go at the line.
to stay close. Who's got more push to pass Townsend?
Well, O'Ward with 40 seconds at the line. Rosenqvist at 34 seconds left of push to pass. Little radio here from Pato O'Ward.
Pato, we need fuel 2.8, 2.8. You just got 2.7, very small save, so give it to us, please.
Another issue for Pato O'Ward is that Rosenqvist went 1 lap further on the last stop, so Rosenqvist more fuel available. O'Ward still needs to hit a number. Talk about a young driver with a full agenda of needs here to close out the win. That is a tall order, Paul. Save fuel and save your lead.
Gap now 1.7 tenths of a second. Now it's below 1 second. He is right there. Oh, he almost dips a wheel off on the entry of turn 6.
What a chase, and it hasn't just been one from Felix Rosenqvist. He's had to do it twice after that pit stop error. And he brought it from an 8-second lead down to this. And he's done that a couple of times. Equally, what a phenomenal day and drive from Pato O'Ward. Whoever wins this one in 2.5 laps time has truly earned it for their maiden NTT IndyCar Series win.
Rosenqvist is super brave. Remember last year at the race in Mid-Ohio with Scott Dixon, he was racing his teammate for the win, banging wheels with him. He's not afraid to mix it up. Oh, he runs
gets
way wide.
O'Ward is hanging on at this point. The tires are shot. He needs to save fuel. And Rosenqvist, watch this onboard. I mean, his balance is exceptional. Great rear grip.
You can run a little wide at Canada Corner, but you can't afford to run wide at the last corner right there, or turns
forward here, bud.
turns
2 laps
one
to
or
go.
two
2 to go. Gap to Rosenquist, 0.7. He has 26 seconds of overtake.
At this point, O'Ward doesn't need any gaps. He can see Rosenquist right in the mirrors.
No mistakes.
Of their allocation of 200 seconds of push to pass, O'Ward has 26 seconds left. Rosenquist, who we ride with, has 19.
He's
it's
right
as
there.
Close as it's been.
He's right there. He's going to get a good draft right now.
Good exit from O'Ward. Kept it nice and tidy right there. He hit his marks.
Both on push to pass. He's closing.
There
the
it comes.
gap is closing.
Down to turn 5 for the lead of the race. O'Ward's going to be tough on the inside.
Watch the crossover here. Watch Ericsson go inside.
Rosenquist, they
Bang.
bang! Climbing the hill to 6.
This is not going to work for O'Ward here. Oh, does it? Gets wide.
This was like
is
just
Connor
like
Daly.
yesterday.
Whoa, and he gives him a little more room. Well done, Felix Rosenquist, but O'Ward's not done. Pato coming back. Can't quite do it. Outside's the long way there.
He's got to stay close here in the carousel. Don't lose the gap and go for the push to pass. But he's out there in the marbles a little bit. Can't keep it tucked down. It goes loose on him.
And there goes Rosenquist. He saved those newer tires for when it mattered.
Take a drink of water.
This was like Simon Pagenaud chasing down Scott Dixon at Indianapolis last year. With 1.5 laps to go, Rosenquist takes the lead.
And with 1.5 laps to go, Chip Ganassi is on his way to winning 4 of the first 4.
People thought it may have been Scott Dixon winning all 4 and matching a record that Alex Zanardi did within Chip Ganassi Racing. But as Felix Rosenquist crests the hill, he'll see the white flag. 4 miles to go. 4 miles until he can celebrate his maiden IndyCar win.
In a way, you almost feel like Rosenquist could thank Connor Daly for being the unfortunate guinea pig yesterday in that crash with O'Ward. It was exactly like yesterday, Paul, in terms of how they were positioned before that fast right-hander. O'Ward backed out today.
Absolutely. This, like I said at the opening of the show, we're seeing a changing of the guard. This new group of young drivers that have come into IndyCar. This is the future of IndyCar.
Well, trends were broken today. As far as pole positions, every pole until today was won by a Team Penske driver. Pato O'Ward changed that. Every race this year was won by Scott Dixon. Felix Rosenquist is within half a lap of changing that. What a weekend here at Road America. The first of 2 doubleheaders in 2 weekends. Iowa next weekend.
1.7, no pressure.
Paul, you talked about changing of the guard. Not only that at the front, I mean, just look down the list all the way to P7. You've got Ericsson, Herta, Ferrucci, Pillow, all those young guns that have showed so much promise and technique and performance through testing in the early races, all realizing great results today.
Yeah, the first old-time vet is really Sato in 8th, so Newgarden in 9th. So this is the new era of IndyCar, this young talent.
It's an important weekend for Alexander Rossi, a rebound weekend, but that's a secondary story. The primary story is this guy here, Felix Rosenquist. He was denied a victory by his teammate Dixon at Mid-Ohio last year by less than 1/10 of 1 second. Nobody is going to deny Felix Rosenquist victory here. Rosenquist is an IndyCar race winner here at Road America.
Race winner. Congrats. Great job, everybody. Great job.
Yeah. Thank you, guys.
What a race.
Felix Rosenquist, it was never a question of when, but if. Sorry, not a question of if, but when you're going to win your first NTT IndyCar Series victory. Tell me, how does it feel, bud?
So good. It's been a long time. We've been close so many times. I mean, this race was for my 10-car crew, the NTT Data crew. Also Honda, you know, I'm really proud to be powered by 8PD and Honda this year. We've been really good. Every race just hasn't had the luck, and as the races come together until now, and today we just went all for it. Super paced. Car was fantastic, and it's 4 out of 4 for Ganassi now, which is huge.
It's absolutely huge, but you really had to work for it. You were clawing that gap down to Pato O'Ward. Every pit cycle, it seemed like he got that gap back out. Did you ever lose faith, or did you guys think that you could come back here and get that win?
Yeah, it was, you know, it was a lot of hard-earned seconds there on track that we lost in the pit a couple of times, but we had so much pace, and we kept closing in almost half a second every lap. And then when they said that Pato was on the used reds, you know, obviously you get a lot of faith that he might drop off in the end, and that's what happened. So just stayed cool until the end, and then went for really. Used all my push to pass in one lap and got him. So a really good fight with him there. A bit squirrely out of turn 5 there, but good show and good fun.
When it went south in that one pit stop, did you think that was it?
No, I mean, we came out in clear air, and that was the key. You know, whenever this guy gives me clear air, you know, we're really fast. We showed that before, so yeah, amazing feeling.
Watch the Iowa IndyCar 250s, Race 1, Friday, July 17th at 8:30 p.m. on NBCSN.